The other reason why I think community life suffers is difficulty in relating and loving. We religious always say that the community is a place where there is love among its members. When I was a novice again, being initiated to the dynamics of community life, someone told me that in community, we are not really expected to like everyone, but however, we are expected to love everyone. You may not necessarily like a brother, but as brothers, we really have to learn to love the brothers. It is not easy, as we all know, to like people of varying personalities and temperaments. But we religious are called, or rather challenged, to love our brothers and sisters in community, isn't it? And we know that it takes a lot of grace, tons of grace from God.
Since we're living together, and people will be able to see in the community, see how they love each other. And that's longing for. That other people will be able to say that this particular community or in the nation is see how they love one another. And with that loving, you will be able to see in the community is a healing community. Community that you can experience conversion, that there will be conversation and dialogue, and it will be also a praying community.
We had commission we made our resolution. But for resolution was we immediately split out whenever we would actually wasn't doing and also initially personal if we have sharing first, usually we will have 10 minutes waiting for each other. But I am not maybe have this wasn't
For me, I am because we are in God. I am still in God. Because all know what we're doing. That's the right spirit. How can I empathize this one? Okay, more participation, more communication, and openness to my community. I find that it's very basic in living in a physical life. We have now a lot of means to communicate. Like for instance, we have texting. For me, I just text my brothers. I am just on the way going to the bar. I'm now in the bar. It's all these things, but it's something, you know? It's something that we know where I am.
I used to tell a lay friend of mine that if she is looking for a clear proof of God's existence in this world, she can find it in a religious community. Especially when she finds that in that religious community, people of different types and personalities are able to live and work together in community. Because as we all know, it is a difficult thing to do. But such love in community is difficult to attain, isn't it? Humans that we are, we fail and falter in our ways of relating and loving. In our accompaniment of communities, we at Emmaus Center see a number of pitfalls or dysfunctionalities in our relating and loving. One is basic. Our immaturity as individuals when it comes to relationships. We are all people in process, so to speak. People who are works in progress. We are not finished products. We know that. We are constantly being formed, especially the young ones among us. And I would even probably surmise that even the most senior among us would even say they are still works in progress. No? We're constantly being formed, being healed of our defects and our immaturities. Community life can evoke, can trigger even, can intensify this immaturity such that it becomes an arena for the complex dramas, telenovelas of our lives. We have probably experienced this, how layers of dramas and projections can mix, how what psychologists call transferences and counter-transferences, especially those who do counseling among us, can burden relationships. How emotional reactions of sadness, anger, hurt, envy, jealousy can be difficult to control and manage. Relationships, the good, the deep, and meaningful ones, are difficult to build. And it's precious that if we find friendships inside our congregations, friendships that last, friendships that deepen through the years. It takes mature, reflective individuals to take on this challenge. We know that the fruits of the challenge are what we long for. Meaningful friendships, meaningful brotherhood, intimacy, accompaniment.
How many lay groups in the Archdiocese who would invite us, who would invite me, please give us an input, a talk on community life, on understanding, interpersonal relations. You will be amazed, the hunger and the longing of our people. And here we come, priests, brothers, religious sisters, we have enough of input. Maybe the problem is, maybe, at least from my own experience, not to the brothers, but to some priests, how that input can travel from the head to the heart. As the saying goes, it's very far. It's very far. So I think what we need, church people, is really what St. Paul says in the first reading, a sense of humility in terms of But my realization is, as a priest and as a bishop, is unless I am connected with Jesus, I will never be more patient, forgiving, and understanding to my brother. And to me, the outcome that we would like to happen is we would like to become one nation. I'm exposed to some groups in the government who would like to do something, the love for our country. But we know the story about country. Boils down to this. Is the heart made from Christ, as St. Augustine would say. And so, my dear brothers, as we gather today, the Sunday, having this opening mass, let us, as a person, once again look into ourselves and to develop more that sense of unity. Unfortunately, what matters most is our relationship with Jesus, and how to let it outflow from our individual vision and the result of the become.
It is in the spirit of newness, transformation, and mission that we can situate our religious vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. These vows, as we know, constantly renew us, transform us in a radical way for the kingdom of God. The vows free us for mission to build this kingdom, a mission that is pursued in communion and community. Hence, the vows are integral to communion. Their living out is essentially community-based. Material poverty and simplicity, chastity and celibacy, obedience to our superiors, these find their meaning only in the context of community and not in living lives of solitude and isolation. Hence, when we religious brothers made our vows, we in effect made our vows as well, and we know that, to communion and community. The vows free us for communion and community, both within ourselves ad intra, and with others in our mission and apostolate ad extra.